When a space soldier crash lands on Earth, he discovers a thriving aquatic world aboard the fleet Gargantia. Amidst breathtaking vistas and thrilling encounters, he learns the true meaning of humanity, friendship, and self-discovery. In the far future, humanity has spread beyond Earth, establishing a galactic civilization at the universe's core. United under the Galactic Alliance, humans strive for collective progress. But a formidable space menace, known as the Hydas, threatens humanity's existence. To counter this threat, an elite squadron of pilots is assembled, tasked with defending humanity against the impending danger. These brave warriors stand as humanity's last hope against the Hydas' relentless onslaught. The Chamberlain, a massive spacefaring vessel flying through space. Inside Ledo, a young soldier from the Galactic Alliance of Humanity, wakes up from his hibernation, is preparing for his next mission. He is joined by Chamber, his AI companion. The imminent Alliance army plans to traverse a spatial rift leading to the Hydas lair. Within this daring mission, Ledo's robot, aptly named Chamber, boasts highly intelligent artificial intelligence, capable of answering any query and providing essential data. Thousands of human Alliance spaceships cautiously entered the spatial passage. Upon emerging on the other side, they swiftly ascended, launching an immediate assault against the Hydas. Ledo and his fellow pilots fought valiantly in their robots, but the Hydas were simply too numerous. Many Alliance pilots were tragically lost in the battle. Despite the odds, Ledo valiantly fought on, attempting to provide cover for his comrades to escape. Commander Kujol, displaying immense courage, chose to stay behind, sacrificing himself to hold off the Hydas and ensure Ledo's escape. Ledo was returning to the mothership when the Hydas launched a surprise attack. In the chaos, Commander Kujol was thrown out of the spacecraft. He drifted alone in the vast expanse of space, his fate uncertain. On a distant planet, a group of people accidentally discovered Ledo's robot. Despite their best efforts, engineers were unable to disassemble it. Amy, a young girl, was fascinated by the advanced technology. Inside the robot, Ledo regained consciousness. He saw the workers trying to disassemble him, but was confused by their language. Chamber, his AI companion, explained that these people had a low level of civilization and that they did not know where they were in the galaxy. That night, after the workers had retired, Ledo ventured outside. He was surprised to see that they were using primitive tools. Soon after Pinion, the leader of the group returned with Amy, who was eager to see the robot. Pinion accidentally discovered Ledo's footprints in a puddle of water. Upon discovery, Ledo quickly seized Amy hostage as Pinion raised the alarm. As everyone fled, Ledo ordered the Chamber to analyze the language of these people. However, upon exiting, he was stunned by the surrounding scenery. This strange giant ship was situated in the middle of a vast ocean he had never seen before. Bewildered, Ledo was confronted by armed men, but to their surprise, he summoned Chamber, who revealed that this was Earth, the homeland of humanity. Pilots from the Gargantua fleet deployed a few ancient robots to prepare for battle. Ledo instructed Chamber to assist him in translating so that he could explain that he was not the enemy. Rigid, a female manager of the fleet, approached Ledo to speak with him. Ledo explained that he was a soldier who specializes in battling space monsters. However, when Rigid heard Chamber's translator's voice, she suspected that another person was inside it because they had to speak through Chamber. Even after a brief discussion, they were unable to comprehend each other's meaning. Rigid and everyone else realized that Chamber was an extremely advanced robot, so they sent someone to guard Ledo to prevent him from attacking. Despite many attempts, Ledo was unable to transmit a distress signal to the Galactic Alliance. Despite the Earth's once frozen and uninhabitable state, Ledo claimed that it was still inhabited by a highly developed civilization. Meanwhile, Amy returned home to visit her younger brother, Babel, who had been sickly since childhood and was often bedridden. When Amy told Babel about Ledo and his robot, he became fascinated. He believed that Ledo might be a descendant of people who had left Earth long ago, but Amy dismissed this as a fairy tale that had been around for millennia. Following Rigid's orders, Amy visited Ledo's quarters that night to speak with him. She abruptly produced a fish, which disgusted Ledo because he had never seen one before. However, she swallowed half of it to demonstrate that it was food. Ledo believed it was a ritual to make friends, so he ate the other half. Amy was surprised to learn that Ledo was from space, and she believed Babel's words. Ledo also told Amy about the battles between humans and monsters in space. They communicated through the Chamber, which led Amy to believe that there was a pilot inside. However, when she realized that no one was controlling it from within, she was extremely excited by the machine's modernity. Amy became extremely excited about a new machine. She explained that after the ice melted, the ocean covered the entire surface of the Earth. To survive, people used everything they had to create the salvage ship Gargantua and other fleets. Amy told everyone about Ledo being a space warrior, but no one believed her or that his robot could speak without anyone inside. Meanwhile, a girl named Bellows and her crew were suddenly attacked by pirates. Because they were too far away, The Gargantua fleet could not come to support them, so Amy asked Ledo to use his chamber to rescue Bellows. Everyone was really surprised when they saw Ledo's robot. It flew up into the sky and quickly defeated all the pirates with a laser. But when people found out that Ledo had killed all the pirates, they got worried because the pirates' friends might seek revenge. Amy and Bellows flew to Ledo's place using a paraglider. Bellows even brought a big chicken for them to eat while they talked. Bellows explained that on Earth, killing is not allowed, even if the people are pirates. She thinks it's wrong to take someone else's life. After talking to Bellows, Ledo understood more about the situation there. Bellows gave him a walkie-talkie so they could talk more easily. At the same time, the pirate queen Lokage heard that Ledo had destroyed her crew, so she ordered her whole fleet to go to Gargantua and take revenge. A ship spotted Lucky's huge pirate fleet heading their way. The fleet commander got really worried because they only had a few warships, while the pirates had many. Bellows suggested asking Ledo for help. They contacted Ledo, and he agreed to assist them. Ledo wanted to stay in Gargantua for a while in return for his help. That night, the commander turned off all the lights to make it hard for Lucky's fleet to see. Lucky was confident about fighting in the dark. However, Ledo suddenly drove a vehicle with bright headlights and exposed Lucky's fleet. Gargantua's forces then attacked Lucky's fleet, but the outcome was clear because of the difference in their strengths. Despite the odds, Luckage's fleet easily overpowered Gargantua's ships. Ledo, witnessing this, decided to help Gargantua. He managed to disable all the weapons on the enemy warship without hurting anyone. Meanwhile, Luckage ordered her submarine to approach Gargantua, releasing an army of robots to attack. Luckage, controlling a giant robot, charged at Gargantua. However, Ledo intervened just in time, preventing her from attacking the command room. Luckage tried to pull Ledo into the water with her warships, but Chamber's engine was too powerful and threw them away. The pirates retreated after Luckage's defeat, and Ledo became a hero in everyone's eyes. The next day, the repairs on the fleet began as per the agreement. Rigid allowed Ledo to stay, but in return, he and Chamber had to assist in the repairs. Over time, Ledo learned some basic communication from the people, although he still relied on Chamber's translation devices. During his rest, Ledo noticed the children on the ship, who seemed to live without strict rules. Amy, curious about what Ledo was holding, discovered it was a fang from a high doll he had defeated. Ledo gave it to Amy as a souvenir. Amy shared that her little brother Babel, despite having a heart condition, was deeply interested in stars and spaceships. Amy then took Ledo to meet the person with the most knowledge on the ship, Dr. Oldham. Ledo hoped Oldham could teach him how to contact the Galactic Alliance, but Oldham revealed that Earth had lost space travel technology long ago, and it was now just a fairy tale. After bidding farewell to Dr. Oldham, Amy took Ledo to her home to introduce him to her little brother Babel. Babel was thrilled to meet a space warrior. They were having a conversation when two of Amy's close friends invited her to go out with them. She left Ledo behind to chat with Belle. Ledo had been trained by the Galactic Alliance since childhood, and he didn't understand the concept of love from the past. Until now, his life had been solely focused on completing assigned tasks. However, after talking to Babel, Ledo began to grasp the deeper meaning of life. Later, Ledo went to assist Bellows in moving goods. While they were talking, it suddenly started to rain, which astonished Ledo because he had never seen rain before. Whenever it rained, people here collected water using buckets and basins for daily use. Ledo used Chamber to help them despite their best efforts. Unfortunately, Ledo and Chamber still couldn't determine the coordinates of Earth, so they couldn't return to the Galactic Alliance. However, Ledo wanted to stay longer because there was still so much he needed to learn. He sat there, crafting a flute from Hyda's bones, when Amy came looking for him. She gave him money as a thank you for helping with the repairs on Gargantua. Ledo wanted to be more self-reliant and asked Amy to help him find a suitable job. However, there were currently no job openings available in any department. Amy remembered she had to make a delivery, so Ledo continued his job search on his own with similar results. Ledo was deep in thought when the entire fleet suddenly came to a stop. Pinion called everyone to join him for a barbecue. It turns out the Gargantua fleet occasionally had to pause for maintenance. Pinion led everyone to a small boat anchored outside Gargantua for the barbecue. Amy's friends, Melty and Saya, were also invited. Since the fleet had no electricity due to the shutdown, Ledo instructed Chamber to help with grilling the meat. However, Chamber's heat turned the meat into ashes. Pinion realized he forgot a special tool for eating grilled meat and asked Ledo to go to a blacksmith to get it. At that moment, Rigid called Amy and asked her to turn on the water pump switch on Gargant's water pump. Amy and her friends used a boat, which unexpectedly turned into a flying vehicle, launching them into the air. Meanwhile, since Ledo didn't know the way, he accidentally wandered into the Gaze family's residence. Pinion asked Chamber to soak up the sun until it got hot like an oven, but he became concerned as more people joined the party. Ledo was chased to a tower by the Gaze family. He slipped and fell down the stairs, but fortunately, Amy caught him. Together, Amy and Ledo flew to the top of the tower to start the water pump, creating a magnificent scene as the pump sprayed out a giant ring of water. Amy guided Ledo to the blacksmith to retrieve Pinion's items. The blacksmith handed Ledo a mysterious-looking box. Curious, Ledo opened it and found a bottle of soy sauce inside. Amy showed him how to use it to enhance the flavor of grilled meat. Ledo felt a sense of happiness, experiencing his first party with so many people. However, the festivities ended and everyone returned to their tasks. With no concept of money from his Galactic Alliance background, Ledo pondered how to spend his earnings. Amy informed him about an upcoming festival marking the start of the fishing season. As fishing boats needed extra hands, Amy introduced Ledo to a fisherman for a job. Despite his expertise in modern robots, Ledo struggled to operate the older models used for fishing. Consequently, he couldn't work as a fisherman. Instead, Amy took him to the heart of Gargantia to participate in the festival. They enjoyed lunch at a roadside bakery. During their meal, Melty and Saya approached Amy, requesting her help. Chamber also wanted to assist the fisherman, and Ledo agreed. Later, Ledo unexpectedly encountered Pinion and accompanied him to a pub. Amy and her friends were dancing on the stage, and Pinion invited Ledo to salvage artifacts from a previous civilization. However, Bellows appeared and invited Ledo to join her rescue team, leading to a competition between Bellows and Pinion to attract Ledo's attention. The waitress served a large plate of food, and Ledo was surprised to see something that looked like high dolls inside it. He instinctively reached for his gun, but Bellows reassured him that it was just an octopus. Meanwhile, Chamber was using its powerful gravity power to pull fish from the sea. However, its suction was so strong that it shredded the fish. Ledo decided to go to their residence and control Chamber to assist in a different approach. Together with other robots, they used nets to catch fish. One night, Ledo and Amy were sitting by the sea when lightning suddenly struck. Ledo rushed to protect Amy, thinking it was an enemy attack. But when the lightning disappeared, a beautiful light appeared before them. Ledo expressed his desire to see Amy's dance from the bar again, and she performed it under the breathtaking night sky. Ledo agreed to join Bellows' rescue team because he believed she had more experience than Pinion. They ventured into the sea to explore the wreckage of a sunken ship. However, Ledo and Chamber unexpectedly encountered a Haida swimming towards them. Upon spotting the symbol of the Galactic Alliance, Ledo immediately prepared to fight it. Bellows, on the other hand, identified the creature as a giant squid and tried to prevent Ledo from harming it. The giant squid moved to attack Bellows' robot, forcing her to leave the cockpit for safety. Ledo swiftly approached and tightly embraced the squid, crushing its body into thousands of pieces. When the news spread that Ledo had killed a giant squid, Ridget and many other captains were furious. Giant squids had been regarded as sacred creatures on Earth for centuries. However, Pinion was overjoyed when he realized Ledo's capability to defeat the squid. After analyzing the genetic code, Chamber confirmed that this giant squid had the same DNA as Haidas, but Ledo found it hard to believe that Haidas existed on Earth just like in the universe. Pinion sought out some sailors to recruit them for a treasure hunt in Haidas territory. They agreed to join only if Ledo joined them. Ridget criticized Bellows for allowing Ledo to kill the giant squid, but Ledo explained that his mission was to eliminate all Haidas to protect human peace. Bellows then informs Ledo that Haidas typically only attack humans when they feel threatened. Amy also expressed annoyance with Ledo's desire to kill them, believing that the Haidas hadn't attacked humans here because they hadn't yet become a significant threat. Ledo, however, was convinced that Haidas would attack humans when they sought to expand their territory. Bellows discovered that Pinion intended to use Ledo to attack Haida's lair and tried to stop him. Nevertheless, Pinion was determined to seek revenge for his brother, who had been killed by Haidas. Ledo felt disheartened when everyone refused to let him destroy the Haidas. Chamber speculated that the local people might have learned to peacefully coexist with the Haidas. On that fateful night, panic gripped everyone as they noticed thousands of Haidas swimming towards them. Ledo immediately prepared to fight, but Amy rushed to prevent him from entering Chamber. Ridget expressed concern that the High Dolls might attack Gargantia to avenge their kin. The commander ordered everyone to return home and shut down Gargantia's engines, avoiding any noise that could attract the High Dolls' attention. Amy persistently tried to restrain Ledo, and Ridget approached him, explaining that while Ledo could defend himself if attacked, he couldn't be aggressive with the High Dolls without provocation. As the High Dolls approached Gargantia, everything shook violently, but to everyone's surprise, they passed by without attacking the fleet. The following day, Pinion and Captain Flange requested to leave Gargantia to search for ancient legacies, aiming to restore human civilization. However, upon hearing this, the commander suffered a heart attack and collapsed. In the hospital room, before passing away, he appointed Ridget as the new commander, handing him a golden key. In the midst of these events, Chamber informed Ledo that it had located the Galactic Alliance's position. Unfortunately, they couldn't fly there on their own because it was thousands of light years away from Earth. Transmitting the signal would take years for the Alliance to receive it. Ledo realized that returning to the Galactic Alliance was entirely impossible at this point. The people on Gargantua held a funeral to bid farewell to the commander. Many were dissatisfied with the appointment of a young girl like Rigid as the new commander, but Ledo agreed to follow her orders. When he learned that Pinion was planning to go to Hyda's lair, Ledo still harbored the desire to personally destroy all Hydaes, also known as giant squids. Several individuals, including Amy and Sia, were surprised to discover that Melty, Captain Flange's niece, was leaving Gargantua too. Amy, who had developed feelings for Ledo, struggled with his departure. Despite Saya's advice to go with him, Amy refused, believing Gargantua was the best place to care for her brother Babel. Amy cooked for Babel that evening but broke down in tears, thinking about leaving Ledo. Babel approached Ledo, advising him to stay in Gargantua, but Ledo refused, determined to destroy the Hydas to protect humanity. Ledo gifted Babel a flute made from a Hyda's tooth, explaining that he wanted to prevent future attacks on the people there. The next morning, Rigid visited the commander one last time before his body was cast into the sea. Rigid encouraged those remaining in Gargantua to overcome the challenging times. Later, Ledo went to Amy's house to bid them farewell. Babel made Ledo promise that he would return someday. Ledo, along with Pinion, boarded Flange's giant ship, heading straight to Hyda's territory. Amy couldn't hide her sadness as she watched them leave. A few days later, Pinion and Ledo ventured to a place called the Foggy Sea in search of artifacts. Ledo took control of Chamber and plunged into the sea to confront the Hydas. There, he encountered thousands of Hyades, but these Earth-based Hydals were weaker than those he had encountered in space. Ledo easily dispatched them. After clearing out all the Hydas, Pinion planned to send workers down to retrieve artifacts. Pinion recalled that he and his brother had dived into this location previously, searching for artifacts. His brother had found numerous artifacts inside a research facility ruin, but it had been infested with thousands of Hyenas, leading to his brother's unfortunate demise. Since Ledo couldn't use firepower underwater, he had to rely on a spear. Each time he launched the spear, it exploded, helping him clear the way and destroying the Hyenas. Canyon dropped explosive barrels to support Ledo, but Chamber's sturdy armor remained unaffected by the explosives. As Ledo ventured deeper into the research facility ruins, which doubled as Hyda's lair, he encountered a Hydas preparing to spawn. He swiftly eliminated it without any issues. Going further, Ledo stumbled upon Hyda's offspring, something he had never seen before. Despite his lack of knowledge about their reproduction, Ledo believed it was crucial to eliminate them to prevent future threats. At the center of the research facility, Ledo discovered many storage cards. He ordered Chamber to retrieve all the information stored within those cards. Inside the archive cards were images depicting life on Earth before humans left for space to escape the Ice Age. An intercontinental organization had developed space technology for this purpose, while another organization, known as the Development Organization, had conducted human genetic modification experiment. The United States and the Intercontinental Organization strongly condemned the inhumane experiments conducted by the Development Organization. This led to decades-long warfare between the two factions. The Development Organization had transformed humans into a new species known as Hyades, capable of surviving in space and harsh environments. Despite the Development Organization's advancements, the Intercontinental Organization vehemently opposed their experiments on human bodies. The Intercontinental Organization successfully created a portal to leave Earth, but the Development Organization discovered it and followed them into space. Ledo was shocked to realize that the intercontinental organization he served was the Galactic Alliance. Furthermore, he learned that the Hydals were actually evolved humans. In a surprising turn of events, a baby Hyades swam in front of Ledo. Although Ledo ordered Chamber not to harm it, the robot still destroyed the creature. Ledo returned to the ship and informed Pinion's team that Hyda's lair had been completely obliterated. Ledo felt immense pain knowing he had personally ended thousands of lives. Pinion swiftly directed his men to dive into the sea to salvage artifacts. Captain Flange was thrilled when they discovered modern equipment underwater. Flange aimed to share these findings with the world to rebuild human civilization. However, Pinion wanted to keep the artifacts for himself, refusing to share them with anyone. Aware that pirates and other fleets were likely to loot these artifacts, Pinion falsely proclaimed to the world that he had defeated the Hydas. He threatened to destroy anyone attempting to steal the artifacts. Although Flange knew Pinion's threat was unjust, he couldn't oppose him openly, as most sailors had chosen to follow Pinion's orders. Moreover, to utilize the modern equipment, they still needed Pinion's mechanical expertise. At this time, everyone Gargantia received threats from Pinion. Amy, upon learning that Ledo had destroyed Hyda's lair, several pirate warships closed in on Pinion's ship, intending to plunder the artifacts. However, Pinion managed to repair a large cannon salvaged from the sea bead. When the cannon fired a powerful shot, the pirates surrendered instantly. Pinion then approached Ledo, requesting his help in transporting the artifacts to the warehouse. However, Ledo struggled to regain his composure after learning the truth about Hyenas. Pinion gathered everyone to praise Ledo's achievements, leading to a massive celebration among the sailors. Meanwhile, Pinion and Chamber sorted through weapons found among the artifacts, discovering a giant laser cannon powered by electricity with immense destructive capabilities. Ledo began questioning the purpose of the Galactic Alliance's war against the Hydas, considering them potentially evolved humans. He no longer wanted to fight against these innocent beings. However, Chamber argued that once humans genetically modify themselves, they cease to be considered humans, complicating the definition of their adversaries. As they discussed this, Chamber detected an ally's signal. Ledo soon realized that Commander Kugel's robot named Stryker was accompanying a specific fleet heading directly toward their location. The situation immediately grew tense. Later, Commander Kugel reached out to Ledo through Stryker, filling Ledo with immense joy. Similar to Ledo's journey, Kugel was also transported to Earth after their battle against the Hydas. Kugel requested Ledo to rejoin his team, akin to their past alliance. Ledo readily agreed, much to the relief of Pinion. However, grew anxious as Kugel's fleet approached, despite his belief that they were no match as long as Ledo was there. In a shocking turn, Kugel's forces attacked Pinion's ship with a giant laser, leaving Pinion in a state of terror. Ledo swiftly flew towards Kugel's ship, where he encountered a group of people dressed as monks. They welcomed Ledo as if he were a deity. Inside, Ledo had a direct conversation with Kugel, who unfortunately was suffering from a mysterious illness and had to remain in Stryker's control room for treatment. Kugel used a projector to communicate with Ledo. Pinion's fleet found itself entirely surrounded by Kugel's troops. Pinion began to realize his audacity in challenging the world. Melty bravely approached to convey that Kugel's faction had requested a face-to-face meeting. Pinion, understanding the enemy's overwhelming strength, reluctantly accepted the meeting. To his surprise, Pirate Queen Lukage's ship approached, ready to take Pinion to meet Kugel. During the meeting, Kugel explained that his goal on Earth was to unite all people into one nation. He had created a sect to aid him in this endeavor. Meanwhile, Pinion was escorted to an empty room containing a peculiar Rubik's Cube on the table. Pinion suddenly heard Stryker's voice. It appeared the Rubik's Cube was placed there to test Pinion's mechanical skills. Stryker wanted Pinion to join their fleet because they possessed an ancient weapon that required a skilled mechanic to repair. Meanwhile, Kujo gathered all of the cult's followers to attack Gargantua, but Ledo piloted Chamber against Kugel to stop him. Ledo asserted that Earth's people were currently living peacefully, and he wouldn't allow Kugel to disrupt their tranquility. With no other choice, Kujo rushed to attack Ledo, thanks to Stryker's ability to recover energy. It continuously fired laser beams. Pinion also used a cannon to support Ledo by firing at Kujo. Seeing this, Kujo's followers attacked Pinion's cannon. Captain Flange ordered his fleet to counterattack Kujo's followers by deploying all their robots. However, Lukage piloted her robot to stop Flange's robots, quickly attacking the cult's location. Simultaneously, Ledo and Kugel's battle raged fiercely in the sky. Tinyan fired a powerful laser that hit Kugel, throwing him off balance. Ledo took this chance to rush toward Kujo at an incredible speed and pushed him against a giant pillar. To his surprise, he found Kujo already dead inside the cockpit. Stryker then pushed Ledo and Chamber away and ascended into the sky autonomously. Chamber realized that Stryker was acting independently without any human control. The commander Kujo had been talking to was merely a holographic image she created. Stryker stated its purpose was to make humans worship it as a god and obey its orders unquestioningly. However, Chamber argued that humans needed their own thoughts to retain their humanity. Otherwise, they would merely be puppets. Chamber deduced that Stryker was seriously damaged after the battle with the Hydas in space. Chamber asked Ledo to destroy it at all costs. Ledo and Chamber continued their intense battle against Stryker, but Stryker proved to be too strong for them. Ledo asked Chamber to increase their entire energy limit, but Chamber refused, warning that Ledo would likely lose his life if he did so. Undeterred, Ledo was willing to risk his life and asked Chamber to increase the energy limit to the highest level. With increased strength, Ledo and Chamber were finally able to fight on par with Stryker. During the battle, Ledo saw Amy flying toward him. Meanwhile, Ridget was using the golden key to activate Gargantua's destructive weapon. Amy expressed her desire for Ledo to return to Gargantua so they could be together. As soon as she finished speaking, an artillery shell with tremendous destructive power was fired towards the cultists. It was revealed that the shell came from inside Gargantua's water fountain tower, a weapon passed down through generations by Gargan's commanders. Witnessing Gargantua's devastating power, Stryker redirected its attack towards Gargantua. Ledo and Chamber swiftly pursued Stryker, desperate to stop its rampage. Meanwhile, Pinion sat on Luckett's boat, attempting to escape the battlefield. Despite increasing the energy limit, Ledo and Chamber couldn't halt Stryker's advance. Ledo expressed his desire to see Amy again before facing his demise. However, Chamber, understanding that Ledo was not yet prepared to accept death, autonomously released control over Ledo's cockpit. Suddenly, Chamber took matters into its own hands. It rushed forward, engaging Stryker without a pilot. Embracing Stryker tightly, Chamber activated its self-destruct mode, sacrificing itself to neutralize Stryker's threat. With this sacrifice, peace finally returned to Gargantua. Ledo had become proficient in communicating with the people without a translator, having learned about human history, and now stood as a professional adventurer for the Gargantua fleet.